Today I want to talk about focus at the strategic level, the why. Now, I'm not suggesting that you ask yourself the question, why am I here? None of us may ever know the answer to that question. But I am suggesting that you ask yourself the question, why do I want to be here? What makes my life worth living? What do I want out of life? These are big questions, questions that we often do not ask ourselves, or perhaps are afraid to ask ourselves. At a session with a management team a few weeks ago, we spent a couple of days talking about what we're talking about here, talking about focus. And midway through the second day, somebody asked, what are we going to do with all this focus? What do we want out of this focus? And someone else in the group answered in one word: happiness. So the first thing you need to do is you need to know what makes you happy. Now, I suggest you get a sheet of paper after watching this video and draw a line down the middle, and you have a left column and a right column. In the left column I want you to put down what makes me happy, and in the right column what gives me pleasure, because they are two completely different things. And very often in life we pursue pleasure at the expense of happiness, our own happiness and the happiness of those that we claim to love, or indeed even people who are depending upon us in the work or business environment. You need to know what really turns you on, what makes your life worth living, and what's important to you. I also suggest that you ask yourself this very important question: what is important to me? What are my priorities in life? I would suggest that you get another sheet of paper and that you write down 5 priorities. If you have more than 5 priorities, chances are you have none. You need to focus your mind. What is important to me personally? What is important to me in terms of the people that I am surrounded by? Are there people that I'm surrounded by that I don't want to be surrounded by? And are there others that I am surrounded by that I don't give them due attention, due care? What you need to do is understand what it is, effectively, that makes you personally tick. In other words, I'm suggesting that for a few moments you actually look on your life and look at what you want out of life on a purely selfish basis. Now, I don't mean selfish in the manner in which normal people use that word. I mean selfish in the context of looking after me first. Because you see, if you don't look after you first, you're never going to get anything much out of life, and you're going to be a danger to those around you, particularly indeed if you have children, because you'll simply bring up those children to be normal, crazy adults, like the vast majority of people on this planet, who have no idea where they're going, no idea what they want out of life. You need to know, not with any certainty because it's always a moving target, but you need to know the key things that make you happy. Happiness, of course, is a word that is much abused, bandied around the place all the time, and very often misunderstood. We're talking about what gives you that warm feeling inside, gives you that fuzzy feeling, gives you that feeling that yes, all is well with the world and I have arrived. So you need to know these things, you need to have an idea, and you need to write them down. Handwriting, and that's why I'm suggesting a sheet of paper, is very important because the hand-eye coordination required for handwriting makes an impression upon the subconscious mind. And if you consider from a psychological perspective, that is your subconscious mind that is at the moment running your life, or possibly ruining your life, It is very important that you make an impression on your subconscious mind, so that as things move forward, your subconscious mind is attuned to what you want out of life, not what happened during the first 36 months of your life when you simply didn't have the intellectual faculties to consider what were important to you in life. So, you have two tasks to do as a result of what we've talked about here this morning. You need to actually focus your mind at that very high level first. Once you have some degree of understanding about what you want out of life, once you have a degree of understanding of what happiness means to you, then the other layers of focus begin to fall into place. You begin to actually live your life and behave on the basis of the things that you want from life, not on the basis of what you think is going on today and what you think other people are doing to you, or what you think the economy is doing to you, or politicians are doing to you, or the system is doing to you. They are all figments of an overactive normal imagination that, as I said in an earlier video, is using what happened during your formative years to make sense of the present, and indeed in the process is making nonsense of it. So as we come to the end of this video, bear in mind one key question. The things that I have suggested that you do, simply focus on this one key question. What makes you happy?